City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Trade Central.
Kia ora Rotorua, ahead in tonight's bulletin. Bay of Plenty Regional Councillor Arapata Tahana says a new partnership model between the council and Te Arawa is sorely needed. We get reaction from students at the Waiariki graduation procession, and Kia Magic co-captain Leanna De Bruyn is set to reach 100 ANZ Championship games. Bay of Plenty Regional Councillor Arapata Tahana says he's saddened by the negative outflow of opinion aimed at the Te Arawa partnership proposals. Mr Tahana is a former member of the Te Arawa Standing Committee and says a new model of partnership between the Lakes Council and Te Arawa is sorely needed. He says people need to understand the significant place Te Arawa holds in the district.
To be honest, it's been a frustrating process. So it became apparent to me quite early on that the Te Arawa Standing Committee didn't really have any teeth. We weren't dealing with the right issues. We weren't, in my opinion, adding value to what Council's doing and Council's desire to create a stronger, a better future for our residents in Rotorua. So that kind of led into the need to look at new ways of working together. And the partnership proposal has fallen out of that frustration. And what that process really highlighted to us is that some of the behaviours and processes that Council were using in engaging Māori were insufficient. One from a legal perspective in terms of the obligations to Māori under the Local Government Act and the RMA, but more importantly just from a relationships and a tikanga perspective. And I do want to stress that because this isn't about the legalities, this is about a world where we want to work together with others. I think it gets confused a little bit when we focus on the legalities of it. Essentially, we just want to have a meaningful relationship so that we can contribute better to the development of Rotorua. And when you step back and look at what Te Arawa has to offer, there's a whole lot of significant value we can bring to the table, not only from a cultural perspective and a historical perspective, but also our current position in terms of being key economic players in this region. And these were some of the messages I tried to impart to our council, just to understand the bigger picture here, because it's really about creating more benefit for all of Rotorua.
Police are appealing for information in relation to a threat to contaminate infant and other formula in an apparent protest over the use of 1080 poison in pest control. Police are also appealing for the person or group responsible for the threat to make themselves known in order to resolve the matter. Anonymous letters were received by Federated Farmers and Fonterra in November last year, threatening to contaminate infant and other formula with 1080 unless New Zealand stopped using 1080 for pest control by the end of March 2015. The matter was referred to police and a full investigation has been underway since November. An Auckland-based investigation team has been working closely with industry and the Ministry for Primary Industries to identify those responsible. Deputy Commissioner Mike Clement says at present a large number of resources are being directed to this multifaceted investigation, which involves a number of specialist groups and support agencies. He says if anyone has any information which might assist police or are aware of someone who has strong views on the 1080 issue and made threats, police want to know. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the inquiry team or disclose anonymously to Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. Graduating Waiariki students held a procession in town yesterday in celebration of their achievements. Reporter Kitty Danielle went along to talk with the new graduates.
And so what are you graduating with?
NZ Diploma in Business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excited about the prospects for the future?
Yep. I think, to be honest, it's just to look good on my CV and stretch my brain a bit. To be honest, that's what I got most from it. Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
Oh, that's really exciting.
What are you graduating with?
That's a graduate diploma in Natural Resources Management.
Oh, we got whānau all around these streets, yeah.
So they've come here?
Yeah, all proud of us and our achievements.
That's right.
And so you've been in class together?
Yep.
for the last 3 years. I did the certificate as well, so it's been 4 years for me. So yeah,
It's a happy day.
yeah, absolutely. It's
And what about your future? Are you positive now about your futures? Mahi
and just being role models for future Māori and our own kids, our mokos, yeah.
More on the graduation later in the show, including comment from Waiariki CEO Professor Margaret Noble. In sport tonight, Kia Magic co-captain Liana De Bruyne is set to join a select group of players to reach 100 ANZ Championship games. Netball Waikato Bay of Plenty is urging fans to get along to the match on Sunday at the ASB Arena so they can show their appreciation and support to Liana and the team. And as was the case at Monday night's match against the Swifts, there will be plenty of activities for the crowd to enjoy on top of the netball action. And a reminder that Magic play here early next month, taking on the Mystics at the Energy Event Centre. Tickets are available from Ticketek. To weather update now. Tonight, the chance of showers, light winds and an overnight low of 14. Tomorrow, Thursday, cloud increasing with some rain later, easterly breeze, a high of 22 and a low of 12. And looking out for Friday, cloudy periods with the chance of showers, light winds, a high of 24 and a low of 13. And the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua, variable 5 knots but northeast to 15 knots during the afternoon and early evening with low waves. There'll be cloudy periods with fair visibility in afternoon or evening showers. Still to come in tonight's show, we find out about the Fashion, Fibre and Fun Festival. We get some budgeting advice from visiting Business Development Manager Andrew Lamont. And we have highlights from yesterday's Waiariki graduation procession.
City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Trade Central.
Thank you so much for joining me. Fashion, Fibre and Fun is coming here to Rotorua. It's going to be right on our doorstep in April. With me, I'm joined by Belinda Manor.
Kia ora.
Belinda, tell us how this event is coming to Rotorua.
Basically, every year a national exhibition or festival is held by the Creative Fibre organisation that runs through New Zealand, and Rotorua is lucky enough to be the host for it for this year. Last year it was in Christchurch. And this time we're lucky for it to be in the North Island.
And so how is it that we get to host it? Do we have to put a bid in, or are we randomly selected? How is that process worked out?
Basically, the area put in to ask if we could hold it, and basically it was accepted. We need to prove to them that we've got the facilities and the manpower to run it, and I'm pleased to say that everyone in the Bay of Plenty's rallied, and we're having it here.
How exciting. Creative fibre. So let's talk about that. What does this involve, fibre?
Fibre is anything to do with wool, that can be from the alpaca, from good old sheep, as well as linens or silks, and these things can be spun, they can be woven, they can be felted, and basically these wonderful ladies create garments and just creations out of anything to do with fibre.
Absolutely anything, because I did hear you tell me about harakeke being used for special reasons. And
yes, there's a lady over in Tauranga who basically decided that she wanted to take on the challenge of finding a way of spinning harakeke into a fibre. Yarn that was knittable and crochetable. So this wonderful lady has done exactly that. She's learned, and through a lot of experimentation and help from Waiariki, Polytechnic tutors and things, on how to turn it into something that has been knitted into absolutely amazing garments, little booties that feel so soft you just wouldn't believe that it was actually harakeke fibre.
Now you're wearing something quite interesting today. Can you please talk about this scarf with an arm?
It's it's a bit of an original, I think. One of our Creative Fibre members, Delight, created this. It's felted on the arm, so that's wet felting, and then she's used wool and knitted the actual scarf into the different arrangement that it is. And I'm pleased to say that this was actually donated wool. The fibre group often has people ring up and say, look, we have all of this stuff, we're not able to use it anymore, can you make use of it? And this is someone's stash turned into something absolutely incredible.
How long has the Rotorua branch of the Creative Fibre been running for?
Well, originally it would have been known as Spinners and Weavers, and it's been going for over 40 years. So they've kind of changed their focus over the last decade or so, and they've changed the name to Creative Fibre because it was including a lot more than just spinning and weaving. There was the felting, especially, that has become a big thing. And I mean, the beautiful stuff you can make out of it is incredible. This group here, has been going for over 40 years, and there's national groups in every area. All you have to do is get on the good old web and look it up, and you'll see where we all are.
Very nice. And yourself personally, how long have you been a part of the group?
I've only been coming for probably 3.5 years. Bit of an indoctrination. I could knit when I came. I had no idea about felting. I had no idea about crocheting or even Tunisian crocheting. And it's wonderful because coming here you get to learn a lot of different techniques, meet some absolutely wonderful, friendly people, and create. Yeah.
So is that what draws you to be here? It draws you to be a part of the group?
Most definitely. It's the friendship is a biggie, and it's feeling alive, I suppose, being able to learn something and then go home and dabble with it and apply it and create something original and fun.
Nice. Now let's talk about Fashion, Fibre and Fun. What have we got to look forward to?
Well, the exhibition is part of the festival, whereby there's pieces brought to us by members all throughout the country. That's on display for the whole 2 days, the Saturday and the Sunday. The opening is on the Friday. That's for registered people only. Over 300 people have registered nationally to come. And the next day on the Saturday, there will be, they call it fun and frolics in the foyer. And basically there, when you pay $20 per day to come in as a ticket, which is a day pass, and children under 14 are free, you get to watch people knitting with their arms.
Wow.
You get to watch people sorting fleeces, learning how to crochet, just a whole heap of hands-on things. I think the Te Puke Club is going to be the ones that are doing that as part of their contribution. And then there will be 27 traders, so those are people selling raw fibre, carded fibre, books, needle felting tools, a whole range of stuff, and they come from all over the country.
Very cool. How exciting. Thank you so very much for your time, Belinda.
You're welcome.
So there you have it, Rotorua, Fashion, Fibre and Fun, coming in April from the 9th to the 12th. So make sure you put that in your little diary and get online to check out more information as well as purchasing your tickets. Kia ora and thank you for joining us. Today we're here at the beautiful Ridges Rotorua and people downstairs are dining, so it might be a little bit noisy, but hey, I've got a beautiful story for you today. How about some financial training or some financial mentoring with a twist? With me, I'm with Andrew Lamont, who is a business development manager. Andrew, tell us about the business that you're currently working for.
I work for an organisation called Baptist Savings. Essentially, it's a bank. We've currently just recently being registered under the Financial Markets Authority and the Reserve Bank, so we're a registered charity and a not-for-profit organisation. But essentially we're a bank. We take money from the public and pay them a return on their investment, and then we lend that money to churches and Christian organisations to build stuff.
Absolutely, because it's really in the name, isn't it? Baptist Savings.
Yeah, it kind of sums up what we do. Yeah.
Absolutely. So now let's have a little bit of background from you, please, Andrew, because I know you have a very interesting story. So from the earliest moments of your life, and I say this because everything we go through is training to be who we are in the future. Yeah. So tell us a bit about your background.
Well, I was born at a very early age. I was born in Sri Lanka, of all places. My great-grandparents were missionaries to Sri Lanka. And so born there, and then in 1969 we migrated to Australia. The situation in Sri Lanka had got quite, I guess, dangerous politically. But we left and we were so poor that we had 300 Australian dollars between my mum, my sister and myself. And as a consequence of that, I spent a couple of years living on the streets of St Kilda as a street kid because it was all I could afford.
And so let's look at the next milestone from there on. What did you learn and then where did you take that?
Oh wow, living on the streets is quite a challenge, obviously, but you know, you learn some stuff on the streets that you can't learn in the universities and the schools. I mean, there's two things you learn. You learn about focus, because when you wake up in the morning, there's only two things you're thinking about. One is, where do I get my food and where do I get it legally? And the other is, where do I sleep? And where I sleep's not so important because you walk a lot during the day and you kind of, wherever you drop, that's your home for the night. But you learn these skills. And of course, I got off the streets really through sport. I ended up playing rugby union for the state of Victoria. And then through that, I managed to get into the education side of things. And then 24 years later, my big break came when a gentleman called Brian White, who is the chairman of the Ray White Real Estate Group, came knocking on my door and wanted me to help start up a brokering company, a mortgage broking company tied to the real estate group. And so I started this company from scratch, and then 5 years later when I left it, it was turning over 270 million a month. And I used to pinch myself because, you know, as a street kid, you kind of think, well, this is never going to happen to me in my wildest dreams. And so it's been a really interesting path, and I've learned a lot from that. And now I'm in the place where I can put some of this back. So I spent most of my life trying to get people into debt and doing it very successfully. And now I think for my sins, I'm now running these seminars all around New Zealand, teaching people how to get out of debt.
Now you are making up for your sins because you are a man of faith, aren't you?
That's true. As I said, I was born into a Christian family. I came to faith as a young kid at the age of 8. And so a lot of what I do is actually part of my life. So there's no separation between what I do in the business world and what I do in my private world. It's just who I am. I love people. That's my life. And I've actually got something that I can offer back. So all of what we do is kind of tied in with my own life story and how in that sense God has taken me from where I was to where I am today. And if he can do it for me, he can do it for anyone. And so that's that kind of hope that we give people, that, you know, your circumstances can change tomorrow. You just don't know. And so coming to these seminars might just be the catalyst to make that change.
Very, very nice. Now for our Rotorua community out there who may think to themselves, actually, you know, it might be time that I open my bank account and it might be time that I get someone to come in and have a look at it. When is the next seminar and how do people find more information? Yeah,
the good thing is that you don't actually need to go to a seminar to get help from us. We have a great website, www.baptistsavings.co.nz. I had to put in a plug. But if people go to that website, there are 3 red buttons that say Mortgage Health Check, Insurance Health Check and Budgeting Health Check. If they press the button, it just generates half a dozen questions, and people answer those questions and push the submit button. That generates an email that comes to me, and then I get in touch with our local people to come and visit them. So again, for last night, we had the couple that actually live here in Rotorua. They've been here 20 years. So they know the people. They bump into them at the supermarket. Their kids probably go to school together. And we really love dealing with the local people because that's so important. It's no good somebody from Auckland flying in and saying, hey, listen, this is how you do it, and then leaving. And people going, well, actually, how does it help me? So it's been well thought through, and it's evolved as we started this journey sort of 4 years ago to where it is today.
Very, very nice. Look, thank you so very much for your time. And there you have it, Rotorua. If you need some help to create new habits and get rid of some old habits, go Google Baptist Savings online and take Andrew's advice.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm I'm joined now by the CEO of Waiariki Institute of Technology, Margaret Noble. She's got a very big smile on her face because it is a day to celebrate today. We're in the centre of Rotorua and there are hundreds of people here graduating. Margaret, you must be so pleased when these kind of days come around.
Yeah, I think it's sort of just a celebration of all the success that our students have done. They've worked really hard. A lot of them have had to sort of juggle work, life, family, and I think just to get to this day, for many of them it's been a big journey, so it's really great to celebrate with them.
What are your dreams for these graduates?
I hope that we're going to help them, that they've got the skills and knowledge to move on to successful careers. The first ceremony this morning was our nurses, and those will be going on, be working in the health sector and playing a really important part in the economy and society. And as we go through the rest of the day, we've got graduates from a whole wide range of disciplines, and some of them will go on to further study. Most will be going on into employment, and we just hope that we've given them all the skills and knowledge and just the enthusiasm, aptitude for life, and to move on.
Can I ask you to give a personal message to each of the students, not one by one, just all of them in one go, of what you hope that they will take with them now as they leave your care and the care of Waiariki?
I hope they're going to take forward the knowledge, the skills that they've had from coming to us, also the really strong sense of community that we have at Waiariki, our sort of emphasis on manaakitanga and whanaungatanga, and I just hope they're going to take that forward, and that we're always there to help. We want to hear how they're getting on, so get in touch with us, and if we can help you in the future, then come back and see us. We want to know how you're getting on.
Oh, thank you so much, Margaret. I'll let you put your poor tie on, I'll let you put your doctorate on. That's a doctorate, isn't it, that one? Is it a PhD?
Yeah.
Yes, well, we've got another man that's got one of those on already. He's all ready for the camera. Hello, sir. Can I get you to introduce yourself and tell us your role at Waiariki?
Okay, I'm Graham Narkis and I'm the chair of the council, the governing body of Waiariki.
Kia ora, Graham. Lovely to meet you. So how happy are you to be? You must have been to a few of these in your time, but I guess they never stop being good.
It's the best day in the year as far as I'm concerned as the chair of the council. It's the day I get to stand on the stage and shake the hands of all these bright, bushy-tailed graduates that are just about to launch themselves, and it's very satisfying because that's why we exist, is to give them those opportunities and the chance to set themselves up for life, really.
And education is so powerful, isn't it? It's something that we all really need to pursue with a passion. What is it that's special about Waiariki for you?
Well, I think Waiariki is very special from all sorts of points of view. Our bicultural focus makes us different from most other polytechnics and universities in New Zealand. We've got a great number of international students, which adds another whole dimension to our student body. And it's just an institution that operates across the region in a way that enables everyone to access tertiary education should they want to.
Well, thank you so much, Graham. I'll let you get back to it. It looks like they're all lining up. Thank you for what you've done for the achievers of our region.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Kia ora. What are you both graduating with today?
Social science.
Social science. Let's see you put your hat on because you've earned that. Oh, how does it feel? Have that hat on.
Good, uncomfortable.
Well, you've earned it. How many years of study?
3 plus a year in certificate. Yeah.
And just a guess, you got a whānau at home?
Oh, we got whānau all around these streets, yeah.
So they've come here?
Yeah. All proud of us and our achievements.
That's right. And so you've been in class together?
Yep. For the last 3 years, I did the certificate as well, so it's been 4 years for me. So yeah,
it's a happy day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what about your future? Are you positive now about your futures? Mahi
and just being role models for future Māori and our own kids, our mokos, yeah.
Highlights there from yesterday's Waiariki graduation procession. That report was from Kitty Danielle with Graham Jones on camera. For more information or to contact the show, email news@tv.rotorua.co.nz or phone 07 3488 984. Thanks for watching tonight. From all the team here at City News, Paul Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News on TV Rotorua was proudly brought to you by Trade Central.